Welcome to Golden Rule Wisdom, where we explore the profound lessons of life, resilience, and the unyielding power of the human spirit. In a small village lived an old woman whose fragile appearance hid a spine of steel and a mind sharp as a blade. She had spent her entire life building this home, sacrificing her youth and strength to provide a shelter for her only son. Years of labor had bent her back, but she never complained, believing that her hard work would secure a peaceful old age. However, her son grew up entitled and lazy, while his wife cared only for comfort, ignoring the sacrifices made for their benefit. Resentment brewed within the walls as the young couple viewed the mother not as a matriarch, but as a burden to discard. But wisdom comes with age, and she had silently prepared for the worst, keeping a secret that no one else knew about. Inside this humble jar lay her lifeline, a collection of savings gathered from years of frugality, her shield against a cruel future. The tension finally snapped one morning when the son demanded full control of the property, claiming he needed space for his lifestyle. With cold hearts, they gave her an ultimatum to leave, believing she was helpless and would have nowhere to go but beg. They expected tears and pleading, but she stood tall, her eyes dry, and her demeanor radiating a terrifyingly calm and silent strength. She packed her few belongings with precision, securing her hidden treasure, knowing that dignity is the only thing she must never lose. She stepped into the rain, leaving behind the home she built, severing ties with those who valued greed over their own mother's love. The couple celebrated their victory, unaware that they had just cast away their good fortune and invited their own eventual and painful downfall. She found a small, run-down shack in a poor neighborhood, a place that would become the foundation for her remarkable second act. She wasted no time in self-pity, turning the dusty room into a sanctuary, proving that a home is made by the person within. With her savings, she invested in the finest ingredients, knowing that quality and honesty are the cornerstones of any successful business venture. She returned to her roots, cooking the traditional recipes she had perfected over decades, filling the air with an irresistible savory aroma. A humble stall was set up on the street corner, a small beacon of hope where she would rebuild her life from scratch. The first customers were skeptical, but one taste of her soulful cooking turned them into loyal patrons who spread the word quickly. One afternoon, she recognized a familiar face in the crowd, her late daughter's husband, looking lost and broken by the weight of life. He was a good man who had loved her daughter deeply, but poverty had been his constant companion, leaving him hopeless and isolated. She offered him a warm meal and a seat, treating him with the kindness that her own biological children had failed to show. Seeing his honest character, she offered him a partnership, giving him a chance to work and rebuild his dignity alongside her own. They became a formidable team, their shared work ethic and mutual respect creating a warm atmosphere that attracted customers from miles away. Word of their delicious food and heartwarming story spread, and soon the small street stall was overflowing with hungry and happy patrons. She passed on her culinary secrets to him, trusting him with the legacy that her own blood relatives were too arrogant to learn. Prosperity followed their hard work, and she ensured he was rewarded fairly, teaching him that honest labor yields the sweetest fruits of life. A year later, their humble stall transformed into a bustling restaurant, a testament to their resilience and the power of genuine human connection. She was no longer the discarded old woman, but a respected business owner, while he had grown into a capable and confident manager. Meanwhile, back at the old house, the shadow of stagnation had settled in, as laziness and neglect began to rot the foundations. Without their mother's support, the son's gambling debts piled up, and the daughter-in-law's idleness turned their home into a prison of debt. Karma arrived in the form of angry creditors, demanding payments that the couple could not afford, shattering their illusion of an easy life. Piece by piece, they were forced to sell the very comforts they prioritized over family, watching their unearned lifestyle crumble before their eyes. Desperation led to discovery, as the son heard whispers of a wealthy restaurant owner who bore a striking resemblance to the mother he banished. Greed reignited their interest, and they hatched a plan to reclaim their place in her life, not out of love, but for money. They arrived at her establishment, awestruck by the success she had built, a stark contrast to the ruin they had made of themselves. Putting on a mask of repentance, they approached her with fake tears, hoping to manipulate the motherly heart they had previously broken. The son begged for forgiveness, pleading for her to return home, thinking that a few words could erase the cruelty of the past. She looked at them not with anger, but with the detached clarity of someone who has already grieved and moved on from the loss. Her loyal partner stepped in, a living barrier between her peace and their chaos, ready to defend the woman who had saved him. The son lashed out in jealousy, claiming blood rights over the outsider, failing to understand that loyalty is thicker than water. With a simple gesture, she commanded silence, her presence filling the room, proving that she was the true master of her destiny. She spoke with a voice like calm water, reminding them that their actions had consequences that no amount of begging could ever undo. She declared the kind stranger her true family, honoring the bond forged in hardship over the biological tie that was broken by greed. The daughter-in-law tried to argue about inheritance, revealing that their return was never about love, but always about securing their assets. She smiled, informing them that her new empire was built on her own merit, and not a single penny would fund their laziness. She ordered them to leave, closing the door on their toxicity, choosing peace and justice over the hollow obligations of blood relation. Turning to her partner, she affirmed that family is defined by actions and love, not by birthright or empty promises. To ensure justice, she legally secured the future of the one who helped her build it, cementing a legacy of fairness and gratitude. Fate completed its circle as the ungrateful couple lost the very home they had tried to hoard, ending up with absolutely nothing. They watched her success pass them by, a painful reminder that opportunity, once scorned and rejected, may never knock on your door again. Instead of hoarding wealth, the grandmother used her success to help others, proving that a generous heart is the true source of abundance. She found peace not in revenge, but in living well, demonstrating that the best response to betrayal is a life of joy and success. Her story teaches us that self-reliance and preparation are essential. We must always have a safety net to catch us when we fall. We learn that kindness is not weakness. True wisdom lies in knowing when to give and when to protect oneself from exploitation. Finally, the law of cause and effect is absolute. Laziness and greed lead to ruin, while hard work and integrity build lasting empires. She rebuilt her family tree with love and choice, ensuring that her values would be passed down to a generation that appreciates them. In the end, she didn't just survive, she thrived, proving that it is never too late to start over and rewrite your ending. Her journey from a discarded elder to a powerful matriarch stands as a timeless beacon of hope for anyone facing their darkest hour. The old jar now sits as a trophy, a silent witness to the courage it took to leave everything behind and build something new. Surrounded by genuine love and respect, she realized that family isn't just who you are born with, but who you choose to keep. Let her story be a reminder to cherish those who love you and to have the courage to walk away from those who don't. Regret is a bitter pill to swallow, and some bridges once burned can never be rebuilt, no matter how much one might wish it. She documented her trials and triumphs, leaving behind a manual for survival for anyone who finds themselves underestimated and cast aside. Like the fire in her kitchen, her spirit burned bright, consuming the negativity of her past and fueling the warmth of her future. Life goes on, and for those with the courage to seize it, every ending is merely a disguise for a brilliant new beginning. In the grand tapestry of life, her thread shines with the gold of resilience, weaving a pattern that inspires us all to stand tall. So if you ever find yourself in the rain, remember her jar, her courage, and know that you too can build your own shelter. Darkness may fall, but the light within a determined heart is enough to guide you through the longest and coldest of nights. Take charge of your destiny, prepare for the storms, and never let anyone else hold the pen that writes your life story. Her legacy is not just in her wealth, but in the minds of those she inspired to refuse the label of being obsolete. Together they face the horizon, a testament to the power of unity, hard work, and the unshakable belief in one's own worth. Thank you for watching Golden Rule Wisdom. If this story touched your heart, please share it to inspire others on their journey. Remember, true wealth is built by character, and dignity is the greatest treasure of all. Until next time, stay wise and strong.